Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming. This is our second career night we're doing. We did it 2 months ago. The first one, this is our second one. And the purpose of this career night is we keep getting questions about this career. So it's basically to open the curtains to show you what the life of a real estate agent is. Maybe motivate you, maybe break some myths that you maybe have. How many of you are currently studying for the license? Hi, couple. Okay. The rest are. How many are you of you are licensed? Yeah. Already licensed. Couple. Okay. So most of you are interested what this is all about, and should I get into it? Right? Okay. We have a couple of questions. These people here are agents at our agency, Komar, licensed agents, of course. They are top producers. I'm gonna ask 7 questions. I don't have too many. I'm gonna 7. After we go through the questions, we'll open it up for Q&A. And if you have any questions, run it by us. And then we'll encourage you to do a little bit of networking. You can talk to us, ask us questions, whatever you want to do. Drinks, food, you know. So we have first questions. First question: what inspired each of you guys to become a real estate agent?
So I have experience being a real estate agent. What is the question?
What inspired you?
What inspired me? Okay, so I've been a real estate agent for 3 years, a little bit more than 3 years. I was tired in my previous job. I was looking to change the career. I had a few options. I always was interested in building, in construction, in real estate, in development. Let's say that way, in investment. I had investment at the time I started researching, and I have a master's degree in civil engineering. So that's why I started researching more. After I found out you can be your own boss, right? You can do your own schedule. You can live on your own schedule. Probably was the most important thing for me. So I started searching how can I become a real estate agent.
And that was 3 years ago you became a real estate agent, right? 3 years ago? What? How did you tell anything like that?
So I had a closing today, this morning.
Number is it? But today.
Number 45 this year.
Okay.
I have for 3 years more than 150. I counted more than 150 for 2 years. So yeah, that's the story. So I looked at the real estate because you can do a flexible schedule, and I was thinking it's so easy to become a real estate. I was thinking it's so easy that I was surprised.
We'll go.
Yeah, I was surprised it isn't, but yeah, we'll go there later.
Hello, everyone. My name is Olena. I have been with Komar for almost 2 years, and I had been with another company beforehand. So, what inspired me to become a real estate agent is I also wanted to change a career. I was working in a different field for about 10 years. I was planning events. That was a very stressful career, but with COVID, we were all laid off. So I was looking for options. I also had my daughter. I gave birth to my daughter, and I was looking for something that I don't have to be tied up to corporate job, to 9 to 5, or certain hours that I cannot change for any reason. So I looked into real estate, and 8 weeks later, I got my license. So it was really easy. I really thought that I'll be good at it because I like people. I like being organized. I like planning. So to me, real estate was a very relative field. And also, my husband is in the field, sort of. He's an architect. So we thought that this would be beneficial for both of us to have a license, whether or not I will be using it as a real estate agent, or we're just going to be using it for ourselves to buy properties or to buy something and remodel it and resell it. But since then, I've realized that I love working with people, and I found myself, so that was really good.
Did you have any sales experience?
I had a lot.
Yeah? Good. But you see, out of those two so far, they didn't have a clear picture, clear plan yet. When you were getting it, so is me. I had no idea what I'm signing up for. I just figured, because my wife, she said, "Oh, like, real estate is so cool. You meet people meeting." I'm like, "Yeah, it's so cool. Maybe I should do it." And I go get a tax, pass the course, and I'm like, "Yeah, now what do I do? How do I get clients?" And my manager at the office said, "Well, just sit at the floor, you pick up the phone, and it never rings, so there's no leads there." I asked the agent at the previous office, "Where'd you get the lead?" I met the guy at McDonald's, and then there's my friend who's mine. And I'm like, "What's the system? Give me a system." And I'm like, "Wow, I didn't know this is what I'm signing up for." It's like starting a business. It doesn't require money, but it requires a lot of getting out of the comfort zone, advertising, making reels, going on the radio, doing like this. This is uncomfortable. We got water for a reason. So this stuff. Everything you need to do, like it's easy, like to swipe the card and pay for ads and get people to buy courses. Maybe it's not easy, but you don't have to get out of the comfort zone. Here, you don't really have to put any money, but if you put your sweat equity, you can make really good money. Why did you get into real estate?
Yeah, that's everything he was saying was pretty much still similar to my situation. First of all, I want to say hi to everyone. My name is Mariana. It's a pleasure to be here at this event today and to share some insights, some experience, my personal way joining the industry. I joined Komar straight away after getting the license, so last year. And this year I'm on the track to close to 20 deals, maybe more. Let's see, still 3 months pending.
You are in the business for about 50 months?
Yeah, 1.5 years.
Yeah, 1.5 years. We're about to close your 20th.
Yeah.
That's why these people here for a reason.
Also, I want to share the information that I used to work in different fields. I used to work in sales, in the office, in hospitality. So whatever you was doing, this will help you definitely in building your successful career in real estate. So basically, it's everything about the people, getting connections, networking.
So what inspired you?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm the only one person who also didn't have any knowledge. How does it work? What's the commission?
But you will see that is a common thing for salespeople. They shoot and then they aim. If you're trying to get prepared, you're trying to think everything through. In sales, you gotta go, and then figure it as you go. We'll talk about the mistakes of new agents. We both are going to share something. That's the most common mistake when I need to learn everything. As soon as I got licensed, I joined the company, and then I need to learn everything. It takes you a year, and then you say, "I'm gonna be selling, but I'm learn everything," and you just
you have to be passionate. It's not coming straight away. You have to put a lot of efforts, knowledge, educate yourself. So it's a lot of work, but it worth it. That's what I can say.
Jen, how did you get into the business? What inspired you? I don't know.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, you were probably.
Thank you so much for sharing this night with us. Hopefully, you're gonna get some insights from this career life. So for me, I was actually fresh of college, and then I was working as a paralegal for this attorney. She was a real estate attorney. So she looked at me. She's like, "Oh, you should be a realtor. This is something that's going to fit your personality. You like to talk to people, outgoing." So I'm like, "Okay, why not?" I had no idea. Realtor what? So she inspired me kind of, and that's how I went to school like 2 weeks. It was offline, got my license. And
2 weeks, so fast.
yeah, 2 weeks. It was in person, passed the exam, and got my license. So yeah, and before that I was 9 to 5 and I hated that. I'm like, I need to.
So basically, we all made a decision not thinking too much. We weren't really, we didn't know where we're going in, basically. This is why we have these events, so we know what we're going to think.
But it doesn't matter, even if you're, this is one of your first careers or you had a career for 10 years.
For most people, this is not the first career. Most We got some that are 19, 20-year-olds. They are out of college. Like Max, he's getting out of college. He goes into the office like I'm just fresh out of college and working. He's putting things on top. But most people, it's a second career.
So previously, I was working multiple jobs, different jobs. I couldn't stay at one job for more than 2 years, and I was kind of looking for something where I could stay for a longer time. And my thinking at the time was that I need to get into the industry where there's a demand. So people always need housing, and that's why I figured I would try out real estate. So for me, when I was choosing between real estate, also thinking about doing barbering. I wanted to cut hair, but thank God I decided to go with real estate.
I don't even know what to say. That's good. That's good. But by the way, Balkan is someone who trains new agents. Agents that join us that are fresh from school, go through the Balkan course, and so far everybody's happy.
Yeah, we have
Everybody's happy.
every new agent who joins us, they go through 3 classes with me, where I kind of show you the basics of how to use platforms and stuff like that. So,
Those other stuff, fine.
Yeah, it's
Online, fine.
I did in class, so it's basically my friend who's studying with me. Ivana, yeah, probably she's gonna join the industry as well, shortly. So I did in class. Me personally, I don't think it makes a difference. You have to choose your own way, because for me it was easier. It was more attractive, I can say, because online it's like too boring. You're not like getting involved into the conversations. You cannot ask questions much. So it's up to your schedule. Probably you have a full-time job or a part-time job, or you have kids. So it's up to you. But yeah, there is different options. So for me, basically worked in that.
What are the old spitting ones?
Yeah, I actually bought this course online and I started it, and it just was difficult to pay attention. And I also had a newborn in my lap. She was like 4 weeks old, so I'm like, it's not gonna work. So when she was 2 months old, I switched to in person and I did 8-week course. So it's a 2 months course. It was 2 to 3 days a week from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And my biggest tip is, as soon as you finish your course, is to pass the exam right away. Like the very second day you pass it, while it's fresh in your head, because I've known people who have been studying, they pass the school exam and they delay passing their state and federal, and they ended up never passing. And
Anybody here are going through the school and having a hard time? Or just going through the school and seeing it's, so many terms. Yeah? Online school? In person? Online? Yeah. If you haven't gone through the process of buying a house, you don't understand what the survey is, what the appraisal is, what's cap rate. These things were so new, you have to just memorize it and go straight to the court, pass it to the test, and then next day you don't remember anything.
You cannot translate most of them. So just
Anybody took a long time to pass? Everybody were like first time? I took
Second.
Yeah, I'll share my personal experience because I took online fast, the same way worked the 9 to 5. It was COVID for 2020. I remember my first class was in my birthday, September 22. So remember that. Can't like me next year, September 22. So first class was September 22, 6 to 9. I took 3-hour classes twice a week. And I got my I passed final exam on December 6th. So what worked for me? Consistency. I knew that I kept work. I work 9 to 5. I finished my job at 5. I started class at 6. At class till 9. And Saturday and Sunday, just read the book and take multiple texts. As many as you can. If you fail, research again on that topic. Go to the book again and again and again. I knew I need to pass. I knew I kept short amount of time. So consistency is important. Yeah, don't concentrate on like each word that you don't understand. Take it and all is real estate. You have to take like 75% of the answers. As soon as you uh, answering all the tests in the book, there is tests after each topic. If you answer the test, go to the final exam and take it. I passed it from the first time, but if you didn't, just take again, and you will pass. So that's my advice.
It's what I hear very often. It's not if you're gonna pass, it's when you're gonna pass.
Yes.
So I know some from the first time, some fine, but I think in the end,
And that does not show how many houses you will be selling. You could even take it on a tenth try or first try, means nothing. Means nothing. I got a guy laughing up there in the back. He took it 8 times. And he's like, breaking records. So
Like really, you will get like 10% of this book that you're studying in real.
it will help you. Your knowledge, people will feel it. People will feel that knowledge once you have it. But if you fail first time, keep going, don't stop, because at the end of the day, it's not. You know. What is the mistakes you see new agents in once they are already in the business? What are the most common mistakes you see in Bogdan? You start.
So in my experience,
it's you. Okay.
Remove the finger. Keep pressing. Yeah.
so in my experience, I think the biggest mistake that new agents make is that they set up these boundaries, these walls, that before I get to work with the client, I need to know everything about real estate. This is not how this industry actually works, because still I'm pretty sure a lot of agents can agree that we still learn a lot from every single deal. There are different situations happening. So the main issue I think is that they set up these walls and they're afraid to start working with the client. Because once you get that first client and you start working, that's the experience you get and you've learned the most from it.
Okay, I'll share mine. In the beginning, everybody starts part time. That's understandable. You understand you're not going to be getting clients in the beginning a lot. You have bills to pay and things like that. Start part time is a good idea. It's smart. I did it full time right away because I had no bills pretty much and I had a little bit of savings. But I burned through $75,000 in 6 months and then I started finally getting clients. So that was not really a smart idea, but but I was very, very, very committed. As soon as I decided, I committed. I am a top agent, and before you get there, you have to believe in yourself. So commitment is super important. But as soon as you commit it, you become confident. As soon as you commit it, you start reading a lot, news articles, listening to different podcasts about real estate investing, home buying process, home selling process. Then you get a lot of knowledge. It's not something pushing you. You're just interested because you committed already. You made a decision. So as you made a decision, you start putting a lot of hours. You don't even notice it. So as you start putting a lot of hours, people feel it. You start putting a lot of content. So as you commit, you don't worry about the camera. You put content because you committed. So everything, like if you're just getting it here and there to keep it, that also makes sense. But don't expect too many results. If you want to make this as a career and make $500,000, maybe more, maybe just a little bit less, you have to commit. And one more, I'll say that a lot of new agents start fast and then stop fast too. They start and they're very motivated, they come to the office every single day, and then 1 month later, everything's on. They were expecting things to happen too fast. That takes time. That it's a train. It's slow. It takes time. First, you have to conquer your fear of being on camera, being on the radio, making a phone call to a stranger. That will take you 3 months just to get prepared for that first thing. Then you start making these things, these phone calls and content, and you want results right away. You want it tomorrow. And it doesn't happen because people need to get used to you and see if you're real and you're not going anywhere. So they will let you be in front of them for 3, 4 months. And, then that's already 7 months. Some will sell it super fast. We'll go through that, how fast it took them to sell the first house. For me, 8 months. So figure that. No income, 8 months. And bills. Not too many of renting the whole place. Um, but it still adds up, and your bank account starts to go down. I was like, this much from getting a new job, and just But I figured, okay, let's keep going. I had a credit card, $25,000 bills, and $400 interest every month. I made the sale, I just covered the interest. I made the rental, just covered the interest. I'm constantly in the hole for a year. So.
Yeah, like you have to be passionate about it, first of all, because I also closed my first deal in 6 or 7 months. I joined no, 6 months. Yeah. I did some rentals. I started because I became very super motivated, full of energy, and there was also almost nothing going on.
It's like bamboo. It takes time, and then
That's time, yeah. And then one time you can explode, but it's not starting right. So if you will be patient, just wait a bit, do your work, gain as much knowledge as you can, try different things, because there's so many ways to get the leads, like do open houses. I started with rentals just to do some showings, to get to know people, do some networking. So try as much as you can, learn as much as you can, and you will get there.
Yeah, I'll add a little bit as a mentor as well. I'm trying to help new agents as well. So I can see their mistakes at the beginning. Just patience not gonna work. You have to work hard. If you come to the office and see it, look at the phone and wait when it's gonna ring, it's not gonna work. You have to pick up the phone. And just actually 6 months, you have to so be prepared. You have to step out of comfort zone. You have to use social media. People have to know about you. You have to show your knowledge to people, to your friends, to strangers. You walk to the elevator, you start talking with people like, what do you do? I'm a real estate agent, share your business partner. So you have to work, not just wait, patiently wait. Business plan is important. As all told us, 6 months probably is average for new agent. There is going to be no income. You have to be prepared for it because you're going to quit after 3-4 months because there's no income, there's only expenses. So be prepared and set your goals. Not only in first year I will set 30 houses. It's not your goals. This week I'm gonna do 3 stories, 2 reels. This week I'm gonna call 15 people. This week I'm gonna talk to 10 strangers. This is your goals, not like
the results. You can look at them and see, oh, here they are. But activities will create results. So that's what he was saying. Activities, calls, videos. By the way, what's the biggest lead source for you? Mariana, how are you getting leads? What's the biggest source? Social media?
Social media and people I know. It's my friends, some new connections. If I'm going to events, going to different birthday parties, whatever I'm going, I'm trying to meet new people and to let them know who I am.
Also, I'm kind of of the. So I think I might be a little biased, but on mistakes, also I would say the biggest mistake would be not to join Komar, and I'm gonna explain why. So I can actually compare because I've been with a huge company, known company, and then I've been with a flat fee brokerage. And I would say that I've never in my life seen so much support that we have in this office. And I just say just to say because every time when you will walk into that office or have a question, they will be like at least 5 people to help you, to sit down with you and show you how to do something. As simple as write an offer or negotiate or something else. For me, it's huge because I never had that support, and I think it would save me so many years to be where I'm at right now if I would be right away with a company like that, where people actually, it's a healthy competition, obviously, but still, we kind of treat each other like family. We don't have this, bad competition, if that makes sense. It's huge. For me, it's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I will add to this because after the transaction, usually I talk to other agents who's worked with in a different brokerage, and a lot of times I convince them to come to our Friday meeting. There is nothing indifferent of brokerage. Like we have technology class, we have social media class, we have every weekly meeting. There is a podcast room. I don't know if Oleg wants to invite someone to the office after that they show it.
Well, maybe we'll
There's
make a tour.
lot.
We'll make a tour. I had a question. I forgot. Who wants to share about the leads? How do you get business? You want to know? Yeah, they want to know. How do you get business? How do you get business, Elena?
Myself is just social media and being present at most things I can be present. Knowing people, I have a lot of friends and friends of friends, and a lot of people that I've known. I mean, I've always loved being social, attending different events, just to meet people. I love meeting people in general, so that helps me. And when people get to know you and they like you and they want to work with you, that's how you get people.
You pick up people from your job,
everywhere.
clients from your
On
job.
the street,
Yeah, because you still keep the part-time job just for
Still have a
source.
part-time job. Yes.
As a source for business.
Yeah.
And what's it called? I went to a couple of events where I met new people, and a couple of times they said, "Oh, I know one of your agents, and her name is Olena." And it's like a couple times I'm like, "Oh, you've been networking,
Because
a lot."
I love organizing events too, and I love organizing events to meet people, and that's where I share my passions. And I'm passionate about real estate. I'm passionate about making connections with people and making people happy. So that's how I got into this industry. And then also referrals from past clients. That's a lot of
That kicks in a little bit later.
and a
as
lot
soon
of
as
clients come back, for second time, third time. My very first client just bought the seventh property with me. So that's what tells me that I'm good at it. So
Yeah. When they come back, that's a good indicator. Dima, what about you? Social media only?
From the beginning, I started calling my friends, everyone. I called them. I just passed the real estate exam. I'm a real estate agent now. If you want to buy, you buy with me. So it's my script. Yeah, I call all of them. Just pick
And
your phone
now this is the toughest thing to do.
yeah,
This is the toughest thing to do. Call all your friends, tell them I'm a real estate agent. Do you want to buy with me? Did they only one? Like I couldn't do it. I could call strangers, ask them to sell house with me, but I couldn't call my friends and ask them for business.
But
Dima could.
yeah, but you have to show your knowledge for sure. You
You have no knowledge in the beginning.
I learned a lot.
Well, because
and
you're
I
smart.
learned quick. Yeah. So I know. Yeah.
You can say what's enroachment
beginning,
is.
you
You
have
can
to-
say what the survey is. Like
At the beginning, you
Boring
have to have
conversation.
more knowledge than your client, and you're good.
anybody else doing any other thing than basically social media. This is the most uncomfortable thing. Getting on the in front of the camera, even if you think you can do it, try doing it. It's cringy in the beginning. It's tough. You don't like it. You don't like how you sound, how you look. But this is how you sound, how you look. This is there's nothing you can do about it. And the quicker you overcome, the quicker the results will come. You don't have to do it. You could be doing it by knowing a lot of people. If you have a big network, you can tap in there. If you worked a couple jobs, you have a lot of connections. So you can slowly try reaching them and talking to them. But you can find your way to do it. But I like social media because you remind people about you every single day and you reach new people. You solve two things with 1 minute video and it reaches thousands of people. So it's just working for you while you're, Now it all depends on you, if you want to push yourself or not. So this is the number one way we generate business as a brokerage, agents. The sooner, if you see the agent who is on top all the time, they always use social media. Always.
Yeah, this is the biggest exposure nowadays. If you're not taking advantage of that, that's like
And it's free.
it's free. Yeah, for now.
So far, it's free. Okay. Anybody? Dima, did you have anything to add to that?
Later in your career, of course, the referrals will work
Later,
the best. Yeah, it's like snowballing.
Like if you ask all somebody who's been 20 years in the business, how you get business? Oh, it's all referrals. And you're like, what do? I get no referrals. I get nobody calling me. And
You're gonna
like
work
he
for
said,
your name before your name gonna start working
for you, yeah.
only like lately I experienced that I have more referrals right now than clients from social media. So before that, it was a message in Instagram or Facebook. Are you a real estate agent? Let's meet and talk. And right now I have a call. This guy recommended you. Let's work. Let's find a house. So
Or you get a call from the past client who already did 5 deals with you. They're telling you, look, I need another one, condo, let's say for investment. And it's just, you are hanging out while you're making money, you know? That's pretty
returning
much.
clients is the big, because if they keep buying with you, they going to sell with you later. So it's
It's almost
just
like printing
business
money
business.
after a couple years.
Yeah.
It's almost like printing money after a couple of years if you're patient and work hard and, get out of the comfort zone. I was 2 months in the business while I get on the radio. Radio. I chased the guy who had a radio station. I chased him, and he wasn't returning my phone calls. And then I finally got a meeting with him. I'm 2 months in the business. I said, I want to be on the radio. He says, I don't know you. You're like, I know a couple of realtors, but who are you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in the business. Give me a chance. So I signed up for 6 months. The first time that I was in front of that mic, I almost, I don't know, passed away. It was crazy. But slowly here and there, you start, improving a little bit, and it start bringing clients. So you have to get out of the comfort zone, basically. Question to Olena and Angelica. How do you work kids, family? How do you balance kids, family, and real estate? Because everybody wants showings after 6 p.m., after 5 p.m., or on weekends. How do you balance this?
Lots of wine.
IVs.
I mean, from what I learned from my previous industry, where I also was working with clients, I was always client oriented. You do try to manage your client and don't let them manage you. So, for example, when what helps me is time blocking things for my family. Family comes first. So I would block things ahead of time, like this time we're doing this, and it's blocked on my calendar. So when my client calls me and asking me, can we see this tomorrow? Instead of asking your client, when would you like to see it? I usually respond, yes, let's see it. I'm available this time and this time. So that's my response. I'm available. And if this time doesn't work, let me know another time. What's great about, we have so many colleagues here. So if something doesn't work for my time and my client's time, there's always someone, not your first showing, of course. You have to meet with client. They have to know you. Like this could be your 5th, 10th, 50th showing, but there's always someone who can help and come and show the property for you. And you have to make sacrifices. You can't win it all. You either not going to raise your child or you're not going to be an agent. So you have to make sacrifices. So if I would not have a family or child, I would sell more houses, but I choose to be there with my family. And that's why I'm not maybe there as many hours a week as I could be, but that's my sacrifice. I really want to see my child growing. And as a real estate agent, you're going to have to find the balance, and you're going to have to learn, to time block things for yourself. What's most important for you? What's most important this week? What's most important next week? Of course, if you have a new client, you want to be there for them for the first couple meetings. And then if there's things like if you can't be on the inspection, sometimes I'll find someone and I'll make it to the end of the inspection, or I will be there via FaceTime when the inspection ends. So there is a way to balance if you're good with time management, I think.
It's different for single guy, than for a married woman with kids.
I mean, it's
Totally
easier for a guy in
Yeah.
general.
Generally, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
if
like
you're
imagine this. I figured that it's 7:30 p.m. I get a message. I'm a single guy. I'm like 8 o'clock. We need to see a condo. All right, I'll jump on the car. I'll be there. For girls, like I already took my makeup off, so that doesn't work anymore. For me, it works. So it's
Let me add, just reminder, Olenka was event planner for 10 years. So it sounds so easy for her because I
So
remember my
professional.
first year, like I don't have kids, right? I have wife, but it was so hard to balance my life. So Olenka, she was like, it's so easy, you do this and that. But yeah, after a while, you will find out how to manage. And yeah, you have to do sacrifice. You cannot be 100% a real estate agent. You have to be husband,
But
father.
the answer is it's manageable.
It's manageable.
It's manageable. It's tricky. You will find your way. It's not easy for those that have family and kids, but if they can do it and sell a lot of houses, it's possible. Angelica, any tips?
It's a double job for you. It's like one job. For us, it's two jobs. Because if you want to go show something, you gotta go show something. For me, I need to actually plan. So I'm showing this house, but also now I need to arrange my kids and husband and everyone. But on a serious note, for me at the beginning, I would say it was just a lot of conversations with my family and my husband. Like, listen, this is something I want to do, and they were very supportive. So basically, I would just take advantage. I would hire my family for free at the very beginning, so just help. But now, basically, it's kind of I pay money to make money because now I'm delegating a lot. So, you're going to pay for the babysitter, for daycare, for someone who helps you to clean, I don't know, to cook. So you can do this. And at this point, kind of I can do that. At the beginning, it was a little bit tougher. Now it's just a choice. Do I want to be at home and do everything myself, cooking, cleaning, kids, and not to have a job and cover that? Or I actually want to go out there, make money and pay someone to delegate some of those things. And for me, I prefer the second one because I know I'm going to be a much better wife and mom to my kids if I will be successful personality as a woman,
Agree.
successful woman. So that was where they want to go. Do they want to go, this route or that route? And I chose the second one. And at this point, I'm very happy I did because it all worked out.
We will soon be opening up for Q&A, so think about your questions. I have two more that I want to run, and then we'll open it up for Q&A, and then networking session. We want to know how to get the first deal, right? How to get the first deal. So give us, how was your first deal? How did it happen, and what was the price, and how much money you made? Nobody? All right, I'll share mine. Everybody maybe who knows me knows my first deal. Actually, I started making cold calls to property owners that want to sell their property on their own. I made a bunch of cold calls. I got the seller who agreed to sell with me, $570,000. I called my wife. You can't believe it. I got my listing. Celebrate. This is amazing. That listing I kept for a whole year because it was too much. I overpriced it. It couldn't sell for a year. I was trying to sell it. And even though I got that listing, but my first check actually came from me buying my own place. I was my own client, and then for $84,000, and then my friend bought something for $100,000. So those were, I made $1,000 there and a little bit over $1,000 there. It was tough. It was extremely tough for me, extremely tough. But if you stick with it, then next year I made 16 sales and 30 sales, 60 sales, 130 sales. We as a company right now on track to close 500 deals this year. But, it started with me trying to make it happen on 8 months. So.
We were discussing with Yolanka because for me, and I think for a lot of you, it's going to be your sphere of influence. So your friends, family, there's a big chance first deal will be from your sphere of influence because those people know you as a person. And if you have a good personality, they're going to trust you as a person. And then your professional is going to come along. So for me, it was my friend, and it was actually a commercial deal, the very first deal. But then Yolanka said that she had a very different one. It wasn't even a friend of hers for the first deal.
I mean, first of all, when I got my license, a little bit later, probably like a month later, one of my friends telling me, "Oh, we're shopping for a house," and I'm like, "Oh, great, you know, so nice."
Good timing.
And she's like, "Oh, don't worry, we have an agent." And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "I'm not gonna like let you make money because we've already bought with this agent, and we're selling with them, so we're gonna buy this property with them again." And I'm like, "Okay." Then time goes by a little bit. My second friend's like, "Oh, we're ready to upgrade for another house," and I'm like, "Oh, so great." I'm like, "What are you guys looking for?" We start driving, looking for properties, and then she calls me for one day, and I'm picking up the phone, and she's like, "Listen, I have to tell you, actually, my brother's sister's husband, I mean, one of those, my sister's brother's wife, has a license and they're a family." And she's like, "And if I go with you, there's going to be big drama." So this was like my close friend. And I was like, okay. And like, what am I going to do? I just let her go. And then until this year, I've been in real estate for 4 years. This year, I really closed the first deal for my friends. Everyone else was just people that I've known through someone. I mean, I've had referrals from my friends, but they have not bought with me or sold with me until they saw from the side, oh, now I can trust her. Now she knows much. But when you just knew, your friends and family, they look at you and they're like,
Family may be a little bit better.
I mean,
but
close
friends-
family, yes. But just now, when I'm at my friend's place, at birthday parties, just now people start asking questions. They're like, "Oh, how's the market? What's the rate today?" Just my friends, and they're like, "What do you say? Is it a good time to buy? What do you think about this?" And they just start pulling up things on their phone. Or what about this auction? What do you think? And they start asking questions because they feel like you know things. When before, when you just knew agent, your friends not necessarily gonna be your first clients because they may already have an agent that they worked in the past. They may have a family that has license. So you have to be prepared that your friend's not always going to be your first client.
Yeah, because they know you from the jobs that you did before that. Then they think, oh, now you're a real estate agent. Tomorrow you're going to be a doctor or something. So, yeah, we want to give you a time and see if you're actually doing anything. That's why social helps, because you're proving every single day. I'm here. I'm active full time. Best. It takes still a little bit of time, but that is better and that it's faster. And you, Angelica, you want to say something? Or
It
Manila?
was a joke, but I'm like, my family, I think they're all just afraid of me. They know if they're not gonna buy with me, they're gonna be like on the blacklist. So they're like, no, we better go with Angelica, but it's a joke, of course.
Yeah, I wanted to share my experience. So my very first deal. So actually, I got a call from a client. He was from social media. I did ask him a question: "How did you get my phone number, or did someone refer me?" So he said, "It's from the testimonial." So I was okay. We've been looking for a townhome. I remember a budget like 300,000. So I showed him around 25 houses, and basically it was a like my 7th month in the business, and we've been writing the contracts. We've been getting the contracts. We had a stage where we canceled 3 contracts one by one, and it was so frustrating for me. I remember I called Oleg. I was even crying one time because like, how come I was working so hard and like it didn't work out? But still, that helped me to be ready for everything, because real estate, it's like challenges, new challenges every day. Every transaction is different. People are different. And now, I mean, had it recently, like 3 deals canceled as well, but now I'm prepared
She
for
called
that.
me and was crying.
Yeah, but still you have a client, so you will find something else. You will still close the deal. The most important is relationships. It's not just the deal, the transaction itself. So yeah, now it's much more better. So you're learning a lot with experience, with time.
And in the beginning, all the problems happen. In the beginning, everything that can go wrong
Same
goes
time.
wrong. You have the toughest clients, you have the cheapest deals, your clients get canceled all the time. But then, once you go through that, then everything is smooth.
No, situations I would say still happen that you're not ready
Yeah,
for, but the way you're
the
handling
skin
them
is
is
thicker.
completely different.
Yeah.
The skin is thicker for sure.
Okay, now, what's it called? What's the biggest deal and what's the biggest check? What's the biggest check you ever made? Give me the numbers. I'll share mine. 32,000 on one deal. That was. You
a
can do
big fat
you can do
check.
more, It's 1.3 million. You can do more. It's not that crazy, but it's good.
Because you don't have a split.
You on the good split. Okay. Well, what you had something? You had a good one. A 20 something.
Yeah, it was over a million, so it was like 25,000.
Yeah.
For me, it was 10,000, the biggest.
I'll share a story of my first deal. Actually, it is gonna be good for the agents who are thinking of joining Komar because as I mentioned before, I was the first agent at the Komar, and Oleg was my mentor.
You were working with me
Yes,
even before
in different company.
Yeah,
there was
I
no
needed
Komar.
help because I was, I couldn't. You couldn't rest for 5 minutes while I was getting clients texting me properties. I was like, my God, I need help. And then Dima showed up.
So if you stick around, if you show that you're interested in this career, if you show that you're knowledgeable and here to stay for a long time, your mentor probably will give you some clients at the beginning. I got my first client from Oleg. So while I had this client, I make a lot of content on social media. I make stories, everything. As I mentioned before, I called all of my friends. Let's say it was like 50 calls, right? No one bought me in the first week, right? I did all this content, and 6 months later, one of my friends called me back and, okay, I'm ready to buy. I see you active. You probably doing a lot of deals already. Let's go. So my first client was my friend who called me back like around 6 months after I got to the business. So it's take time.
I remember when you started, you had only 200 subscribers on your Instagram.
Yes.
You had like a little bit. You weren't doing content, but then as soon as you joined, you started.
I started, first day. I knew I need to do social media. How people gonna know about me if I don't do social media? Like it's the biggest, and as we mentioned before, it's free for now. So social media is a must. You have to go out of your comfort zone and do social media. My check on first check was I don't remember the check.
No, the biggest one.
The biggest one. 14,000.
I thought you were gonna tell the situation that happened with your first client.
I thought not to tell that, but okay. My first deal, Julia. If you watch this in records, we went to different houses. I don't know, like 20 houses. Finally, we find one. I wrote the contract. I got this under the contract, and then when you got to under the contract, you have to send it to attorney and to the lender. So the process is starting. I just got it, and I didn't send it to anyone. And we're just waiting like 2 weeks. And then Julia called me like, how is the process? Everything looks good. And then I call Oleg. What do I do next? So 2 weeks later, attorney and lender received the contract and process started. But yeah, everything is his experience. Everything is his experience. If you learn fast, you have to learn on your own mistakes.
Yeah. Anybody has any questions? Basically, while you're thinking, I want to tell you that this career as a real estate agent is not really a salesperson. You are a salesperson because you will have to answer questions. Sometimes, and if you're in front of a seller, sometimes seller has some concerns they aren't sharing, so you have to have some sales skills. But most of the times you begin with buyers, and most of the times you're just making sure that these people feel comfortable with you. So you need to learn skills that open up people and make them feel comfortable with you. Complimenting here and there where it's needed, making jokes when it's needed, just being yourself, being a simple person makes people comfortable and they just stick with you. While they see you have knowledge, while they see you investing in yourself and you're someone who is knowledgeable, people are loyal to value. These are a couple words that you should just remember. People will always are loyal to value. When they see that there's value to extract from you, they will stick to you. They will learn every time. They're like, every time I call this person, I'm getting some news, some updates, and I'm becoming smarter because I'm with that person. So you will always find yourself keeping client, and you don't have the problem of losing client because you are valuable. You have a lot of knowledge. That starts with you doing researches, you're reading. That is commitment. That's why you become good, because you first need to commit. You have to make a commitment. Even if you want to be a part-time agent, you just have to commit. I will be a part-time, but I'm going to be good.
I have two questions. First, why Komar for new agents? Like, why you stand out? Like, why you're better? What are your commissions, conditions for new agents? Angelica mentioned flat fee, commissions.
I'll let you guys answer. You know better than me.
Yeah, I can answer that. So compared to other companies, in my opinion, because before I started here, I was at another brokerage, and I was kind of lost there. I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody was pushing me. And then I reached out to Oleg, and that's when I joined Komar. And off the bat, he was helping me. He was taking me to showings. He was taking me to inspections, to different stuff. I learned a lot from him. And I would say we still kept the same culture here, maybe even better. We got more agents, and all of the agents are willing to help each other. It's more like a friendly competition. And on top of that, we have like a weekly schedule of different meetings. So Tuesday we have the tech classes where we educate you on different platforms. Wednesdays are our accountability meetings where we different agents set goals, and in a week we meet to see if you reach that goal. Thursdays we have social media classes, and Fridays we have like a general class where we have some guests sometimes, and we learn a lot of useful stuff. So I would say that's what separates our brokerage from the bigger ones, is the culture that we have here.
Does it come at expense? Basically, if you charge, take bigger commission with other brokerage?
The numbers need to make sense. There's no monthly fees, but it starts with just traditional splits.
Like you said, 6 months, we're not going to have any deals, right? So we're not going to...
No, you don't pay
It
anything.
depends on you. You can have deals even your
You can
first
have
month,
deals in
but
the first month, yeah. We got people that grow really fast. We even recently 2 agents that just joined, they just got deals right away. So depends.
But
Depends
there,
on
like the question, there are no like monthly fees.
yeah, no month.
Yeah, when you make a deal, then you pay.
You most likely could you start with rentals. There's a lot of rentals, and we have rental leads, and we give agents rental leads. You can close a rental pretty quick and already make some money. But there's no like monthly fees. Yeah.
Second question. So yes, a lot of Ukrainians here, right? So, and you have probably over 50 agents now. You're all competing for Ukrainian clients, basically a lot, right? Like major, big portion of it.
Yeah, you can't cover them all. You can't. There's enough business for everybody.
like how many Ukrainians in Illinois, especially in Chicago? So it's like one of the biggest diaspora in United States. So we all have different clients, but what I can say, I don't have much to compare because I started straight away in Komar, but the amount of support you have here, and you cannot imagine how many times I've heard like, you're so lucky that you started here. So I am lucky actually, but this is big thing because you have mentorship, you have so many trainings, you have like, you always know what to do. If you don't, just ask someone and they will direct you. So.
Anybody else? What's the most challenging part? What's the challenging part? I guess it's finding clients, getting out of the comfort zone, managing your time.
And going through the challenges. Because, like, you can close, even I asked Dima, he closed so many transactions, but every single transaction is different. So, different challenge. So, yeah, you have to know how to handle this.
Sometimes it's like, what I can think about is sometimes you have... like managing your time when you, for example, you're planning something and here's a client who asks for a showing, for example, hour away from you right now, and you need to serve the client, but then you can't really do it right now, and that becomes, is it a challenge? Yeah. I would say you need to serve but the good thing is that we have a chat and we can tap it into a chat. Hey, cover me please, Schaumburg, 5 p.m. Here's an address, and somebody will say, I can. I'm right here. But probably the leads is the most, because you need a top line to be big. So you need to create a lead flow. And a lot of times when you create a lead flow, now lead starts coming in, customers wants to start seeing homes and do contracts. You're servicing that, but you now forgot about marketing yourself. So you close all these deals and now you have no clients. So now you start marketing again, and then you have these peaks and valleys, you know? You have like, I'm busy, I'm slow. I'm busy, I'm slow. So you always have to remember about being busy and still marketing yourself. So you always are even higher than you need to be, you know? Even if you have peaks and valleys, you're still above what you need to be, you know? Focusing on relationships, it's the most important thing. No check is important than relationship. It's better to get rid of the check, but keep the relationship, because relationship is like a well. It produces leads, it produces relationships, produces referrals, and produces clients. But when you have a check and unhappy client, it's the wrong way to do business. What are the challenges? Dima.
Pretty much that you mentioned. You have to be comfortable to step out of comfort zone.
How about traveling and doing real estate? You travel a lot.
You have to manage, yeah.
You're traveling and then you're with a laptop a lot, or no?
Yeah, you with laptop, and you have to learn how to delegate. It was hard from the beginning because I'm the best. I have to be there. Only me can do the best service to my client. Right now you have to give up, and you can give client to other agent. They can show, nothing gonna happen. So everything is with experience. But yeah, planning is the most important. Don't stop, because if you stop, people forgot about you. Even you do a lot of sales every year, you have to market yourself every time, each closing, each showing. Don't forget about marketing yourself. So keep everything together is very important.
More questions. The best question you can think about. Give me anything you want about to get you motivated. You have some wildest questions. Give it to us.
Can I add just Martin's question about like a lot of agents and a lot of Ukrainians? You don't need to concentrate on Ukrainians. Yes, it's easier because usually they come to you. It's the best lead who comes to you. But if you pick up the phone and call, you winning, right? If there's 50 agents and 49 don't pick up the call and you only one who called them, you're gonna win the game. And there's always work for each agent. Yeah, it's probably more than 100,000 people in Chicago, and to succeed in real estate, you need 20-25 deals a year. Like average
You're
agent
selling 45.
Yeah, but like to count.
You probably want more.
To count as successful agent, you have to sell at least 20 at a year. Like most agents,
it's already good. It's already good.
It's already good. So
Yeah. 20,
100.
and then sorry for interrupting. 20 is a lot of times 10 of those are repeats. So you're really not servicing 20 clients. You're servicing about 10 that are repeating. You know, some of them did one deal, but some did 3 with you. It's very real. It's very, very real. That they come back and they redo deals. And sometimes they send you a link. Let's go this one. Let's go take this one.
So we'll just add, because I believe a lot of you thinking there is a lot of Ukrainians agents already. I believe a lot of you think like that. But there is no competition between the agents. It's only competition with yourself from yesterday. If you do better than you yesterday, you're going to succeed in this career.
But I want to say it's not only about Ukrainians, because it depends which lead source you're using. If you're doing open houses, if you're doing cold calling, it's most probably it's not going to be Ukrainians. So it's up to you. Same social media. If you do a content in Ukrainian, of course you're going to get leads in Ukrainian. But if you do it in English or any other language, so it depends.
Thank you. What's the average time frame to close a deal? And how many units or houses you must show to close the deal, like average, in your experience? if you have it.
So how many houses you need to show to close the deal, and once you did a contract, how long it takes to
So
close it?
between the contract and close, 30 to 45 days, the days if that's financing, so about a month. But then how many houses? It really depends because I had one showing under contract and I had 50 showings no contract. So,
But with time, you become better. You know how to ask questions. You know how to lead. You know how
Yeah.
to uncover the needs. And sometimes clients come to you and you help them make a decision. You're like a psychiatrist a little bit too. You start helping them where you live, and you say you want this, but in reality, maybe you want that. Oh, good. I really want that. I didn't want that. And sometimes like, but probably it's gonna be about 15 houses you have to show for sure. Probably average.
What's the time frame? I mean, not like process. I mean, time frame to find the client and sell.
It could be very fast. It could be a headshot. It could be taking you a year or two. Yeah,
It's really different every time.
it's every time it's.
For good agent.
And again, it's the best agent. You meet the client, and client isn't sure. They decide to pause. They decide to come back. The plans changed. Financing now is different. It's everything is.
I would say
most of them like up to 3 months, like the max for me. I mean, there are obviously some cases that took forever, but most of them, I think like between 1 and 3 months.
yeah, if the client knows what they want, because sometimes like how you can help a person if even they don't know what they want. So if the client knows sort of what they want, then you help them by asking right questions and kind of showing them different properties. So then it's a couple months and they
I
get
want
what
to
they want.
interrupt you. Gentleman in the white shirt. Behind you, there is a yellow box. Could you pull it and twist it to like 70? Pull the box. Pull the box. Yeah, just pull the cover. Yeah, and there's a twist on the bottom over there. Twist the AC. Put the AC. Make it 65 or something like that. Below 70, it's gonna start blowing AC. So we're gonna feel better. I see people are waving things.
Before.
I forgot. I thought I don't remember what we had there. What does it say right there?
Right? To get them more, to warm everyone up.
Okay, that's good. It's gonna start soon. Yes.
We know there were some changes to real
Oh,
estate.
good. Yeah, good question. Changes in real estate. Everybody heard that we had a commission structure change.
I'd like to know if you like it or you don't.
Yeah, we don't like it.
We hate it.
We don't like it. Most
much
of us
changed for
still work on the buy side. Yeah, but we have to now explain every single buyer that we need to sign a paper. We can't really show you houses without the agreement first. So far, really, there's not much friction, not much problems that we're facing. Most sellers still paying. Do you see any commission drops?
No.
No, everything is working pretty much same. I'm gonna share my experience I had recently. So we wrote an offer, and first time since the changes started, I had the reply that the seller is not offering a commission. So we just withdraw the offer because it was a single family house, so it was expensive, and my buyer was not ready to cover it. So we kept looking for other houses, and they returned back to us still offering it because in most of the ways it cannot work in this way. So everything is same as before what I can see. But for the clients, some of them it's difficult to sign an agreement straight away, like without knowing you have to pay or no. This is like might be the concern.
How do you protect yourself basically? Because your buyers could just go directly to their agent, probably.
Sure, they could. They could always go. They could always go. They don't need an agent to represent them and to help them buy a house. They can always go to a listing agent. Most listing agents will tell their seller, "Look, I'm working here with the buyer who's unrepresented. This buyer doesn't have a real estate agent. I have to work on that buyer too. Explain to him how the process works, where to go to the lender. I'm going to charge you a little fee." And then it becomes the same for the seller as if that buyer still had the buyer's agent, because now the listing agent gets paid more versus listing agent paid and the buyer's agent paid a lot of times. Plus, the buyer doesn't really feel you bought already a couple houses, so you kind of know a little bit about the process. But some people that are buying first time, they're afraid of unknown. They don't even know what to be afraid of. So they're like, okay, I have an agent. My agent's good. I feel comfortable. I know they're selling a lot. They tell me that this commission they will get from the seller, and if they don't, they'll let me know. And if I don't want to buy the house, I don't. I buy the one that pays my agent. So most of them are that way so far. But we never know. But we do need to have the paperwork signed up front before showings. So that used to be easier. Whenever they call you, first time client calls, we go. Now we have to make sure that the paperwork is signed before we go. A little bit of that is there. So, but when you're on the seller side, when you're as a listing agent, it's a little bit easier to take listings because seller doesn't have to commit how much they pay. When they see their bottom line, they don't know what actually it's going to be. Before you were showing 4.5%, 5%, 6% is going to go away. They're like, oh, big number. But now you can say my fee is this much, and then that fee is it's not me, that's them. It's like you can do whatever you want. So you can take listings a little bit easier. That's friction for sellers, and sometimes sometimes they might not pay because the buyer and the agent actually have their own agreement. They pay each other, So.
May end up in a situation where we're gonna explain.
Because it's more difficult to sell in this way. If the seller is not offering commission, that's what happened with us. So he wasn't
Depends on the
able to
market, too.
sell, and they came back to us. So
If you would be on the seller side and someone came to you, the buyer directly to represent both, you would not sell it for your commission only for buyer.
If I'm the seller's agent and the buyer ends are unpresented, no, I'll tell seller I need more money.
Like 0.5%, let's say, like a little bit.
No, more. Because sometimes I'll tell you, sometimes these there's a lot of work that goes into it.
The seller comes first, right? Because that's who you were representing first. Like,
Yes.
You satisfying him by selling his property, and this is just extra by representing the buyer.
It's not extra. Sometimes there's so much work, and sometimes I tell you example. I had a deal. I was representing the seller. The buyer was the tenant of the seller. Couldn't you do a deal together? So here's the thing. I'm representing the seller. Tenant comes in to me, talks to me. He's not listening to me. The tenant gets their own realtor. So landlord selling to a tenant, there's two realtors involved. And we get the deal together. Now, after he got her as an agent, everything comes in through the pre-approval, offer, everything starts working. I couldn't pull anything out of him, and they both together couldn't agree on anything. There's a lot of work, a lot of explanations. She took him, showed him some other places, and then he ended up buying the whole building from the landlord. So it seems like it's easy, you just sign, but people sometimes before listening to an agent, they need to trust that agent, they need to listen, they need to feel comfortable with an agent and go through the whole process, and sometimes they.
Question. So you all started as part-time, basically, except for you.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any other agents that actually continue working as part-time? Like they not switching?
Yeah,
of
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
The girl that I'm mentoring, she's actually working full time, and she's like lately a rock star.
Right,
She
right.
sold like
Right,
8 or
right,
9
right,
houses
right.
already.
She is working
So-
full time, and real estate is part time.
Yeah.
She's killing it. I don't know how many deals already she
Very
did.
possible.
By the way, yeah, Dima, Olena, Angelica, they're mentoring other agents that are coming in as new, and they're training them up, bringing them with their own showings and inspections and things like that. And those agents grow faster too.
Okay, I have a question. If the lender includes the buyer's commission to the mortgage, or the buyer have to pay with the savings?
It could be built into the price. Yeah, either way. But a lot of times also,
It's easier if the
Yeah.
commission is included to the mortgage.
most sellers still paying. What we're seeing is most sellers still paying. So this is something that we have to talk about and explain to our buyers that if the seller isn't covering this much, we have to either raise the price, or you have to pay out of pocket, or we move on.
I think for us, it's just more of the education
Yes.
to the buyers.
Before that, we never used to talk about the commission. The buyer's agent and the buyer have no clue what the buyer's agents make, and sometimes they don't even. At the closing, but most buyers, they look at their numbers and whatever the other side is, they don't even look, so they never know. We never used to talk about it. Now we have to explain. That's what really changed. Yeah, go ahead.
Is it safe to be a realtor?
Is it safe?
Not
Good question. Good question. Once you build your business right with social media and referrals, it is very safe. Once you're dealing with strangers, you have to check background with special app. We have a special app. We're giving that along with the MLS listing service. You plug in somebody's name or phone number. It checks the whole background. Then you can make a decision whether you want to meet or not. I have a horror story that I once went in the beginning of my career where I was selling a big house. I cold called somebody who had a $1 million house. I was a listing agent. I get a call. Somebody shows up on the very old Buick with holes. And he comes out. He doesn't look like a buyer with the hand in the jacket all the time. I'm like, what did I sign up for? But everything was okay. I don't even know what this was about. But I freaked out, when I met him. Like, this is not a buyer.
Yeah, I have a crazy story.
Oh, yeah, you had one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was Saturday morning, and I got a call from a seller. So he said, I have a house in Mount Prospect, which I live in not far from that. So he said, tomorrow I'm flying to another state. So would you be able to come now for a listing appointment because I'm planning on selling it? What can be better for the real estate agent to get the listing appointment, especially for a house? So I checked him in this application. He was really the owner. So everything was looking good. I went there, I prepared CMA report, all the information, checked the comparables. And when I parked my car next to the house, he was doing something in the garage. So the garage door was opened. And I entered the house, I said, hi, I presented myself. And he said, okay, let's go and see the house. And he's pressing the button just to close the garage doors. And I was completely shocked because I was basically almost locked inside someone's house. So I said straight away, please, I forgot something in the car, and let me
But you see something else in the house. That's what you forgot. There was a boarded up doors
we
or
did
something.
just 2 steps when he pressed the button, and I saw the front door, and it was blocked from inside, and that scared me so much. So I was my hands started shaking, and I said, please, I forgot something in the car. And he just pressed the button. I was running outside. Yeah, that was super scary.
The car left?
Before that, I called my husband and said, are you available to come so I will be safe, just be next to the house. If anything, I'll give you a call. So by that time, he was already next to the house. So I was running out of the house, and I told him, come with me. So basically we came back. I finished
I forgot something
listing.
in my car.
Yeah.
She goes with us.
That was
It's
funny.
something.
I forgot something, and I'm going back with my husband and saying, this is my colleague. So that was funny, but I didn't care about that because it was my safety. So I finished those listing appointment. The seller never picked up the phone after that, but all the doors in the house were blocked, and all the windows have been closed with the curtains. So that story, to be honest, it was
Nothing in the forward?
no, nothing.
But he mentioned
He was the owner.
he mentioned that he will fly or.
Yeah. He said, I'm flying next day. So
Was it ever listed on the MLS and sold or no?
No,
No.
never. So
Yeah.
that was scary.
Yeah, we don't want to end on that. Let's do
Can be
something else.
dangerous.
Let's do something good.
I think the big one for me was to learn to kind of separate my personal feelings from the
How do you do
problems.
that? How do you do that?
I think some time it's gonna take you some because first deals
Wine?
were extremely emotional, but then you kind of at some point you need to kind of turn off your heart and turn on your head because with issues, again, negotiations, you can just get too emotional, and you need to keep yourself very leveled up, professional, go by the rules and laws, and not because you might have your own opinion and feelings on something, but that's not always necessary what's needed in that case. If that makes that makes
You
sense.
gotta keep your emotions away from the deal for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But when you're dealing with a lot of people, her question is, I think, is how do you still love people after doing with too many people? Olena, you grab the mic. You want to say something?
I think if you just came to this industry, then you have to love people. And then you change industry. Then this is not meant for you. So you can take a break, if you feel like you're like sometimes I get that feeling that's, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. There's too many transactions. All the transactions are falling apart. And I feel like it's, I'm getting to the point where I'm too stressed. You just take vacation, go away, relieve some stress, and then you come back being the same nice person. But again, this industry is for those who love dealing with people and those who can help people relive through those challenges, those stressful moments. You're basically like a sponge. You're going to take in a lot of the stress from your client and you're going to hold on to that stress, and then you will help them to overcome that stressful transaction because you've already seen it, or you have colleagues. What's nice here that a lot of times if you have a certain situation, you can share it. And what I love about being here is almost every time there is someone who can relate to you and help you also overcome that situation so you can go back to your client and be less stressed.
I was going to say that's why you make good money, because you're dealing with a lot of that too.
So I can take a vacation afterwards.
Only time will tell.
I believe it's going to be a part of my life to the rest of my life. Because when you're real estate agent, part of you investor, part of you developer, part of you everything. So it's going to stay till the
we have
rest of my life.
We have to talk about the most important thing is that the most of the money is not going to be made in sales. Is that if you're successful as a real estate agent, if you're making good income, you have to start putting it back into the market and buy investments. And that's the best thing. That's why I was actually attracted to this industry. I wanted to have 100 rental units and chill. And then I figured out that I really like sales, and that's why I got hooked on sales. But I still have the goal of 100 units on my own portfolio. And I want to have that, and that's the most important thing, because that's how you really, make money and
How many do you have now?
Yeah. Yeah. I did Instagram. See, social media works. I don't know. We'll get there. We'll see. But it's also not easy. To manage your units. It's a big thing to do. But it was always the goal, and So you need to invest. You need to with income that you have, because one day you're gonna decide not to sell anymore because you're gonna feel tired, burned out. You don't want no showings. And then what's the plan B? You better have that income that you're making. And also, like, if I could share, maybe this is outside of real estate, it's like a little tip that I've learned from one of the agents that's been in the business for a long time. He gave me that tip and I run away and did it. He told me, I'm 57 or 60, whatever, something like that. And he said, the biggest mistakes I ever made was when I turned 25 or whatever, I did not open up my IRA account. I would have had millions of dollars by now by just having $200 move every single month to my IRA account. And you will never miss those money. You will never see them. Those $200 automatically just moves around you. You never touch them. You never see them. They automatically goes to 401k or IRA. And he said I would have had millions by now. As soon as I heard it, 30 years old, 1st March, I turned. It was on my birthday when I heard it. Opened up the account and started moving money there. So it's outside of real estate, but I know Dima's doing the same thing because we talk about it a lot. So even though you have real estate investments, but that thing is no management, and it's gonna grow. Historically, it's been growing. It's gonna grow. Good chance it's gonna grow. So just a little like a money tip. I don't know. Any more questions? Or I think more enjoyable probably for your emotions is buying, because it's like keys, yes, let's go. With sellers, there's a lot of time. Sometimes there's situations where they don't really want to sell, but they're forced to sell. It could be divorce, could be death, could be something like it's too big for us. And now we need to downsize. So with sellers, it's a little bit like sometimes there's no emotions. With buyers, it's a next chapter, Easier, buyer leads are coming in easier, much easier. Yeah. Seller is is giving you their asset. They've raised their family there. They have a lot of memories. They're looking at you. They're looking how you dressed. They're looking at your resume. They look how many houses you sold. They're more strict, or they're your family, so they don't check too much. But then you have to cut your commission. But if you're coming in for full price commission, you have to represent yourself like I'm the top dog. I could do it for a top dollar, and you have to sound confident. They will feel every little, the unconfident. Like if you feel a little bit unconfident, they'll feel it right away. They're gonna interview. You have to be competing a lot of times. With buyers, if I don't like it, I'm not gonna buy. So I'm good. Okay, I'm okay with you. If you're good, if we can, talk for a little bit, then we'll buy.
I think it's a great experience with sellers. It's like just your next level, the way you present yourself.
When you go with the seller's appointment, you're already in a state like I'm going for a pitch. You're dressed. You're representing. It's a little bit of stressful moment. You're coming in. You have to be on the right mindset. You're coming in. The whole moment you're walking into the house, they're watching you through the window, the way you walk. So everything you're being watched. You're like it's your time. It's a stage time. Then you're representing. You're going over questions. Then in 5 minutes they say, I have no more questions. You can't finish because there's millions of questions. They just don't want to ask them, or they already made a decision. You're not good. So you have to uncover the questions, ask them the question. It's just a lot of it's a lot of experience that goes into it. But in the beginning, most of the times it's going to be super hard to get listings. You just work with buyers, same money. It's still the same. Most sellers still pay, and sometimes even more.
Sometimes buyers will kind of split that. The portion will be paid by
Yeah.
seller.
Like you've seen the compression of commission? You've seen that you've been making less money?
No, but I just had a situation when buyers paid, for example, or together. So it's still, for us, it's same. But again, you need to kind of negotiate it for yourself.
And one more thing also regarding real estate agent career. When the market goes up in price, you have more buyers because tomorrow is going to be more expensive. I need to buy now because tomorrow is more expensive. When market's crashing, there's a bunch of sellers because tomorrow is going to be cheaper. So the worst time was 2023 because the amount of deals went down because interest rates went up and everybody holding their 3%, 2.5%, 3%. I'm not selling because I don't want to get rid of my 3%. So this is the toughest time for real estate agents when amount of deals goes down. 2025, we're predicting there's going to be an amazing year for real estate agents because interest rates are coming down. So a bunch of those sellers are going to start coming out. Plus, a lot of new buyers are coming out because now it's a little bit cheaper. So that's what sort of controlling. We got people that are blowing up when the whole market's tanking. People blowing up because they're taking off the market share because others are just lazy. Right now is the season, fall season for real estate agent. Fall season is usually slow. Most realtors just chill. They wait for spring. But the smart ones are putting in a lot of time and a lot of work into marketing. When the spring comes around, they get all the business. And those that were waiting for spring to come around start advertising and they miss the whole boat. The whole ship with money is moving away and they're like, what's going on? And the other ones are receiving everything because they've been working on their audience from fall till spring. Too hot in here.
Does Komar employ everyone or it depends?
Only good people. Only good people. If I feel you're not a good person, that's it. But we had couple that sort of we couldn't figure it out in the beginning, but later we had a lot of friction. Sorry. Only good people. That's the only thing we're looking for. No matter how many deals you plan to sell, no matter how far you want to go, but you have to be a good person. If we feel good vibe, we vibing. But if not, out. Yeah. We forgot. We have something special. So, what was the rules? Okay, so whoever from this room buys the course from our site and finishes this first, we give you money back for the course. Basically, get that for free. Pass the test. You gotta pass the test.
I pass from school.
No, it doesn't matter. You gotta pass the national. Like you're done. You have the license. Basically, you pass the test. From this room, whoever passes the test first gets the free. We give you back whatever you paid for the course. Free scholarship, by the way. You could be one too. Yeah, whoever passes it first. You could be actually starting today, and because I'll tell you, you could be going through the course, but then if you leave the moment from you finishing the course and taking the test for a week, you forgot already a lot of stuff. And those questions are tricky. Sometimes they have a little twist, and you answer it wrong. Okay. Champagne, some drinks. You paid $20, so eat it up. Was it helpful? Yes. Then ask them questions. Whatever you have, network.
There's a lot of information, helpful information actually. I've been thinking to become a real estate agent for a while, and it was a good opportunity actually to come and ask questions. I feel like they all been answered, and I'm continued actually networking right now, so really enjoyable and spectacular event. Thank you so much.